All right. As the great American poet Jay-Z once said, please allow me to reintroduce myself. I am the law of science. Okay. Oh, 100% he said that. Yeah, look it up. Okay. Okay. So we're going to reintroduce ourselves to the law of science today. Then on Tuesday, we're going to get cray-cray with the law of science. And then we'll get even crazier on Wednesday with the law of science. Okay? Okay? So all that's coming up. Now, if you'll notice, this sheet that you picked up today is pink. What does that mean? Okay, but you'll get it done today, hopefully, because I want to just go over the law of science a little bit, and then let you turn loose on the back side of that. Okay? It is Super Bowl Sunday this weekend, so I found this fun food facts for this week, or for this weekend. So 1.25 billion chicken wings will be eaten on Sunday. Most people, half of Americans eat chicken wings with ranch dressing, the other half with blue cheese. Sausage, this one I thought stood out. Sausage is only the third most popular pizza topping. I don't know what one and two. My guess one would be cheese, and two would be pepperoni.
Does cheese count for like cheese?
Well, if you just get a cheese pizza, you know? I guess. I don't know. 11.2 million pounds of potato chips. Where was the? Oh yeah, 8 million pounds of guacamole just on Sunday. I mean, I like my guac, but 8 million pounds, that's stretching it a little bit. Okay. After the 4th of July, Super Bowl is the second largest grilling week of the year. 14 billion burgers. See, I've never been to a Super Bowl event, let's say, where we grill. Like, because it's always inside. Now, maybe if we were lived in a warmer climate, yeah, I never thought of that. If we lived somewhere warm, then have outside with TVs and stuff, maybe, I don't know. All right, so, back when you were a tree, now this is going back a couple of years ago, okay? When you were in geometry, okay? All right, get it now? Right? So back when you were trees, you guys talked about the law of science. That's why, as Jay-Z said, I'm reintroducing myself to you as the law of science, because you've already been introduced to the law of science. Okay? So back when you were a tree, you figured out that what the law of science was. And I think they just flat out gave you, this is the law of science. Use it. Okay? Right? But where it actually comes from is it's a way to solve, if you will. We're going to be solving triangles. Okay? And how you go about solving a triangle is you need to find 6 things. 3 of them are going to be given to you. So really you have to find the missing 3 parts of the triangle. A triangle has 3 angles and 3 sides. There's your 6 things. You will be given some combination of those 6 things, okay? And you've got to find the other 3. Okay? So if I take any old triangle, like the one that you have written at the top of your page, and I label it my angles A, B, and C. Now, it doesn't matter what you label your angles at. It doesn't really matter. Okay? In a moment, we're going to take those 3 and we're going to rotate them around. Okay? And if I rotate them around, then they get a little different formula. But it's all the same thing. Now, in geometry, if an angle is labeled with a capital letter, which it is, then the opposite side is labeled with a lower case letter. So if that's the case, and we know that the area of any triangle is 1/2 the base. Oops, let me tap the brakes on this one here. If we know that the area of a triangle is 1/2 the base times the height, in this particular triangle, what would the base be? I'll say it again. What would the base be? B, right? Okay. So 1/2 is going to stay 1/2, but now my base is going to be B. Okay. Then I just need to find the height of this triangle. Now, the height is what is called, in technical geometrical terms, the height is called an altitude. Okay? It's the distance from a vertex to its opposite side, and distances are perpendicular. So a height is always perpendicular, and altitude is always perpendicular to the other side. Well, with that being said, if I know what angle A is, then the sine of angle A is going to be what? What would the sine of angle A be? H over C, yeah? Because that one has to be in the right triangle. Okay? If I'm going to use SOHCAHTOA, it's got to be on a right triangle. We are developing the law of sines, which doesn't have to be on the right triangle. Okay? So if I solve this blue now for H, I would get C times the sine of A is equal to H. So my height over here then would be C sines of A, which is that one right there. Okay? Now, if I took, let's see if I can do this now. Oh, snap. Okay, hold on. Man. I can't do it. Anyway, but so if I rotated those around, so if I put B now over here, and C now over here, and A over there, I would get the top one. And if I rotated them around one more time, I'd get the middle one. Okay? So that's all three different ways to say the area of the same triangle. Right? So if I've got three different ways that I can write the area of the same triangle, what can you tell me about those three different things? They're all equal to each other, right? Yeah? So since it's the same triangle, they are all equal to each other. Which means I can do some algebra on them. The first thing that we're going to do in terms of algebra is we're going to multiply them by 2. If I multiply 2 by 1/2, what do I get? 1, right? So, and 1 times anything is anything. Okay? So, this then would become AB sine of C equals AC sine of B equals BC sine of A. Now it says, let's divide all three of those by ABC. If I divide them all by ABC, what do I get in the first one? What do I get in the middle one? And lastly, which is the law of signs. Now, a couple of things about law of signs. One, probably want to write it on your purple sheet. Okay? Okay. Just so you have it there too. Just the bottom part, yep. It's also at the bottom of your pink sheet too, if you have old eyes like me. That's the first thing. Second thing, when you are using the law of signs, and this is a big one, when you are using the law of signs, you find the smallest angle first. Okay? So if you're only given one angle and its opposite side and another side, if you're only given one angle, like number 3 on the back side, okay, you find the smallest angle first when using the law of signs. And that comes from our inverse sine stuff where we were dealing with it on the unit circle, where inverse sine lived on the right half of the unit circle. Okay? Which means law of signs is only going to find an acute angle. So we have to find the smallest one first, just in case our triangle is up. Okay? Find the smallest angle first. Okay? In order to use the law of signs, you have to have a complete pair, meaning you have to have one of these fractions with this, where you have the angle and its opposite side. If you're given 2 angles in a triangle, do you have the third one? Why? Yes, they do. All 3 angles of a triangle add up to be 180. I was waiting, and I was waiting. You were very dramatic in that. I know. I could see the hamster spin. Okay? Okay? So the 3 angles of a triangle all add up to be 180 degrees. So if you have 2 angles, you automatically have the third. Okay? All right? Any questions? Back side of this worksheet is the rest of the class today. Okay? Please work on it. If you need to get your answers checked, I do have the answer key up here for you. You tell me.